Debating Challenge, Book 3. Published and copyrighted by WorldCom Education. All rights reserved.
Unit 1. Open Book Tests. When students have a test at school, they memorize everything that they have learned about the subject. This kind of closed book test is still the most common exam. Many experts now think that an open book test will be beneficial for students. One reason why open book tests are better is that they are less stressful. Students do not have to worry about open book tests because they can use their books to answer the questions. When students take closed book tests, they worry that they will not memorize everything. In addition, in the real world, people don't memorize a lot of information. If workers need to solve a problem, they use the internet or books to find the answers. Some teachers disagree with the idea of open book tests. One problem is that students will spend too much time looking for the answers. Many of them may not finish answering the questions. If this happens, the students may fail the exam. A bigger problem is that open book tests reduce our ability to memorize. Many jobs need people to remember information. For example, a bus driver needs to know how to drive a bus. The driver cannot stop to check the internet for information.
Supporting opinion. Open book tests are a much better way to test students. First, students learn more by taking this kind of exam. This is because the students need to read the books and think about the answers. When students memorize for closed book tests, they forget the information very quickly. Second, students learn many important skills. During open book exams, the test takers need to find the correct information quickly. Such skills are needed in many jobs.
Opposing opinion. The best way to test students is to give a closed book test. In this type of test, students don't know what questions they will have to answer. So they need to review what they have learned. More studying will mean more learning. In addition, open book tests require too much reading. Reading is a good skill, but it doesn't test how smart a person is. Open book exams only test how fast a person can find information. They cannot test how much that person knows.
Unit 2. Choosing where to shop. Everybody needs to buy their food each week. When it is time to go food shopping, does your family go to the local market or drive to a large supermarket? There are good and bad things about both types of markets. Which market is better? Many people think that small markets are much better places to purchase the things that we need. One reason is that small markets are usually a short distance from our homes. Therefore, we can walk and buy the things that we need very easily. This is much faster than driving to a supermarket. Another great thing is that the foods are usually much fresher than those in supermarkets. This is important because fresh foods taste much better and are healthier. Many shoppers believe that large supermarkets are great places to shop. Many supermarkets are huge. Because these stores are so big, they have a wide variety of products. This is great for customers because they can buy everything that they need at one time. Another benefit is that large supermarkets are open many hours each day. Sometimes they are open 24 hours a day. This is really convenient because customers can go shopping whenever they want.
Supporting opinion. Shopping in small markets is better than going to large supermarkets. One reason is that it is less stressful to go to local markets. We can walk there in a couple of minutes. When we go to the supermarket, we usually have to drive and then waste time looking for a parking space. Another great thing is that people in local markets know all about the products they sell. This is good for customers because they will know exactly where the food came from. They will also know that the food is safe.
Opposing opinion. When we need to go shopping, it is much better to go to a large supermarket. One of the great things is that supermarkets are interesting. We can buy foods and other products from all around the world. It is exciting to try different items. Another great thing is that supermarkets spend a lot of money to keep their foods really fresh. This is important because foods that are not fresh don't taste good and they are bad for our health.
Unit 3. No electronic devices during break time. When the bell rings for break time, students usually start using their electronic devices immediately. In other words, they begin using devices such as cell phones right away. They use those devices until the next lesson starts. Should school stop the students from using them during recess? Some people say that schools should stop students from using electronic devices during break time. One reason is that they are dangerous. During the break, students text and walk around at the same time. They don't look where they are going. This can cause accidents. Another reason is that students will talk to each other and be more active during break. In the past, students chatted and played many sports and games. These are much better things to do during break time. Other people say that it is not a good idea to stop students from using electronic devices during break time. Recess is students' free time. If students are happy playing games or checking their messages, they should be allowed to do these things. In addition, students use these devices to contact other people, such as their family members. If they cannot use their cell phones or the internet, students cannot exchange urgent information, such as information about accidents, with their family members.
Supporting opinion. Schools should stop students from using electronic devices during break time. One benefit is that students will be more active. Children will do more activities. If schools allow students to use electronic devices, they will sit in silence with their devices. Being more active can help reduce obesity. Another benefit is that students will be more ready to learn. If there are no electronic devices, students will not have sore eyes and fingers. Therefore, they can learn more in class.
Opposing opinion. It is not a good idea for schools to stop students from using electronic devices during break time. These devices help students to relax. These days, students are really busy all the time and feel stressed. Being able to play a game, text a friend, or listen to a good song can help them relax. In addition, break time will be very boring without electronic devices. They are very important to us and make us happy. Using them is more exciting than playing boring games with our classmates.
Unit 4. The Olympic Games are a waste of money. The Olympic Games are the biggest sports event in the world. Athletes from around 200 countries come together to win a gold medal. Finding out who is the best athlete is great, but the Olympics are so expensive. Should countries spend so much money? Some people argue that hosting the Olympics is a waste of money. One reason is that the host country needs to spend a lot of money to build very expensive stadiums and buildings. This money can be used to improve the health and education of the population. Another reason is that these stadiums and other facilities are not needed after the games have finished. As a result, they still cost a lot of money, although they stay empty. This is not good for the host country. Other people argue that the Olympics are not a waste of money. In fact, it is a great idea to spend money on the Olympic Games. First, people will feel very happy. They will see the best athletes in the world and have a good time. Second, many children and adults will feel inspired by having the Olympics in their country. As a result, many people will begin to play sports. People who play sports are much healthier.
Supporting opinion. It is not a good idea to spend large amounts of money on the Olympics. That money can be used to help people in poor countries. Many of these people do not have enough food to eat or water to drink. We should think about others before building a stadium that no one will use. In addition, people don't improve their lifestyles after watching the Olympics. After a week or two, they forget about exercising and continue watching TV or playing computer games.
Opposing opinion. Spending money on the Olympics can really help a country. The first reason is that the government will build many stadiums and other facilities for the Olympic Games. This helps to create a lot of jobs for ordinary people. If more people have jobs, the government can get more money. Another benefit is that many tourists from all over the world will come to watch the Olympics. They will spend a lot of money when they visit. This will also mean that there are more jobs for the host country's citizens.
Unit 5. Changing the school calendar. Each semester, students have to go to school for 4 or 5 months before they have a vacation. This can make them very tired. Experts say that it is a sensible idea to change the school schedule so that students can have vacations more frequently. Some people argue that schools should have shorter semesters. One benefit is that students will not get so tired. As a result, students can study hard for a couple of months and then take a break. This will help prevent students from getting too tired. Another benefit is that shorter vacations will stop students from forgetting all the things that they learned during the semester. Teachers will not have to repeat the same lesson again. Instead, they can teach different lessons. Other people argue that schools should not change their schedules. One problem is that shorter vacations will not be good for students. If the vacations are too short, students cannot do anything interesting or go far away. They will have less chance to learn new things during the vacations. Another problem is that it will be too expensive for schools. They will need to pay more for heating and air conditioning during the year.
Supporting opinion. It is a great idea to make the school semester shorter and increase the number of vacations. One advantage is that students will not be bored during the vacations. During the longer summer and winter vacations, children have nothing to do. This will not happen with shorter breaks. Another advantage of having more vacations is that students can enjoy spring and fall. These are really great seasons to be on vacation. This is because the temperature is perfect to play outside.
Opposing opinion. It is not a sensible idea to change the school schedule. The first reason is that students need a long break from school. The long winter and summer vacations are perfect for forgetting about school. They are perfect for doing something fun. The second reason is that many short vacations will be a problem for parents. They will have to keep organizing activities for their children. This will take a lot of time. Also, it may be expensive because the parents need to pay for more activities for their children.
Unit 6. Choosing the class president. Every year, many students try to become the presidents of their classes. The problem is that there can only be one winner. Usually, students vote for the person who they want to be class president. Will it be better if the school principal chooses each class president? Some people argue that it is a great idea for the school principal to choose the class president. The first reason is that the principal will select the best student for the job. The principal will not choose the most popular student. He or she knows that a popular student does not always do a good job. The second reason is that the principal can select a student who can work well with the school staff. The class president, the principal, and the school staff should work together to make the school a better place. Other people argue that students should choose the president of their class. This is because the students know each other best. They know who will be a good president during the school year. Another reason is that if students vote for the class president, they will listen to orders that the person gives. Nobody likes to obey a leader who they have not chosen.
Supporting opinion. When it is time to choose a class president, the school principal should select the person. The first reason is that the principal will choose the student who can do the job the best. Principals and teachers have taught many children. As a result, they understand how students think and behave. The second reason is that everyone has a good chance of being the class leader. The principal will not choose the most popular student. He or she will select the student who can do the job well.
Opposing opinion. The class president should be chosen by the students. One reason is that principals will choose a person who they can control easily. Such class presidents cannot argue with the principal to make the school a better place. In addition, students can learn a lot during the process of voting for a class president. Students in the class can learn about writing speeches and public speaking. If the principal chooses the class leader, students will learn less.
Unit 7. Are fairy tales dangerous for young children? As soon as children can understand simple stories, they read fairy tales. Most people believe that these stories are simple and fun. This idea may be wrong. Many parents now think that it is dangerous for children to read fairy tales. Some people argue that children should not read fairy tales. One problem is that young children believe everything that they read. Many people and animals die in fairy tales. Young children will believe these things really happened. As a result, they will be upset. Another problem is that many fairy tales are scary. There are horrible characters that do bad things. This can frighten children and give them nightmares. Young children should not read about such scary events. Other people argue that children should read fairy tales. The first benefit is that these stories help children to be creative. Many fairy tales take place in strange places. They also have strange characters in them. If children imagine the stories in their minds, they can become more creative. The second benefit is that fairy tales can teach children good lessons. When children read these stories, they can learn important life lessons.
Supporting opinion. It is a very bad idea for children to read fairy tales. One danger is that children will not learn new ideas. In these stories, women do the housework and men are heroes. These are not new ideas. Another danger is that these stories always have a happy ending. It is a problem because young children will think that everything in life will always be perfect. This is not true. In fact, life is difficult and many things go wrong.
Opposing opinion. Young children should read fairy tales. One reason is that fairy tales are a great way for young children to improve their language skills. Often, children do not like to read, but they enjoy fairy tales. As a result, they can improve their vocabulary and grammar skills. Another reason is that young children don't understand everything that they read. They just try to understand the main ideas. As a result, children will not learn about any of the bad things that are contained in fairy tales.
Unit 8. Banning bottled water. In 1989, some companies put water into plastic bottles for the first time. Many people liked these products, and bottled water became popular. These days, millions of people all over the world enjoy bottled water. However, some schools have stopped selling it. Is this a good thing? Some people argue that it is a great idea to ban the sale of bottled water. One reason is that bottled water is bad for our environment. We use so much plastic for the bottles, and then we just throw them away. We also need to use a lot of water to clean the plastic bottles. Another problem is that bottled water is very expensive. It is such a waste of money when we can get water from the faucet for a very low price. Other people argue that bottled water has many benefits. First, bottled water is healthy. It is much better for students to buy water than to buy sodas and fruit juices. These drinks contain lots of sugar and other additives, such as unnatural flavors and colors. Second, when we buy bottled water, we know that it will be clean and of good quality. When we drink from a water fountain, we don't know if it has been purified. In other words, we don't know if they have removed dirty substances from the water.
Supporting opinion. Schools should ban the sale of bottled water. The first reason is that water from the faucet is very clean. It is much cleaner than bottled water. This is because the government spends a lot of money purifying the water. As a result, people cannot tell the difference between tap water and bottled water. Another reason is that bottled water is bad for the environment. Large trucks and airplanes transport bottled water. They use a lot of fuel and cause pollution. It does not make sense to transport bottled water to different countries.
Opposing opinion. Schools should continue to sell bottled water. First, bottled water is not that expensive. It is usually much cheaper than other soft drinks. Also, we can reuse the plastic bottles many times. That will help to save money. Second, it is not a good idea to ban only bottled water. All soft drinks cause a lot of pollution because they also use plastic, metal, and glass. These drinks cause much more pollution than bottled water. They are also unhealthy. Schools should ban soft drinks and keep selling bottled water.
Unit 9. Is hacking a problem? These days, there always seems to be a story about hacking in the news. Many people say that hackers are bad because they steal information from individuals and companies. Is hacking really a problem, though? Some people argue that hacking is a problem. One reason why hacking is bad is that it is illegal. We are not allowed to steal people's information from computers or online accounts. Another problem with hacking is that people don't trust the internet. They worry that hackers will steal all their money. They don't want to buy products online. If these things continue to happen, we won't be able to use the internet anymore. Other people argue that hacking is helpful. Hackers find security problems that companies have. They tell the companies about such problems. As a result, these businesses can improve their internet security. This helps to keep customers' information much safer. In addition, many hackers are very smart. They like to improve computer games or other products. This can benefit companies because they have better products to sell.
Supporting opinion. Hacking is a serious problem. One reason is that people don't want to use the internet. They are worried that hackers will steal their information. This is a big problem. The internet is so helpful, but people who are scared to use it will not experience it. Another reason is that hacking is illegal. Hacking means breaking into someone's computer system and stealing information. This is a crime, and we should stop it.
Opposing opinion. Hacking is not a problem. It can really help everyone. First, most people hack websites to test how good their security systems are. If they find problems, they tell the companies. Then the companies can fix the problems. As a result, the internet and computers will be much safer. Another benefit is that hackers can find information about bad people or companies. They tell the police about those criminals or companies. As a result, hackers can stop criminals from doing bad things.
Unit 10. We should ban private education. Imagine learning more challenging subjects after studying hard at school all day. For many students in South Korea, this happens every day. But do we really need private education? Some people argue that we should ban private education because it is unnecessary. One reason is that children will be too fatigued. In other words, they will be very tired. Students go to school for many hours each day. When they go to private academies, they are too tired to study well. Many students usually fall asleep or feel stressed. Another reason is that many successful countries don't have private academies. For example, students in Finland do not have private education, but they are some of the smartest students in the world. Other people argue that private education has many benefits. Students who attend private academies improve much faster. They know much more than other students. These students get to study more subjects and learn them in more detail. Another benefit of private education is that students can have more time with the teacher. The class sizes of private academies are much smaller than those of regular schools. As a result, students can get help when they are stuck.
Supporting opinion. We should ban private education. The first reason is that it is not fair. Parents need to pay for their children to go to private academies. Some parents cannot afford the fees. As a result, children who cannot attend private classes will learn less and get lower test scores. This can stop them from being successful. Another reason that we should not allow private education is that many regular schools have very good classrooms. Students can learn in a great environment at school, and they won't be fatigued.
Opposing opinion. We should allow private education. Many parents don't think that their children's education at regular schools is good. Therefore, they want their children to have private education so that they can learn as much as possible. In fact, private education is the reason why South Korean students have become so smart. Another great thing about private academies is that students can do more creative and interesting activities. Students enjoy learning when they can do experiments or use their imagination.
Unit 11. Being a vegetarian. Steak, chicken, bulgogi, and samgyeopsal are just some of the meat that we can eat if we want to. Eating meat is very popular all around the world. But will it be much better for us and the planet if we stop consuming animals? Some people argue that if we no longer eat meat, there will be many benefits. The first benefit is that humans will be healthier. Vegetarians are less obese. As a result, they are less likely to suffer from diseases. Just by not eating meat, we will be less likely to get sick. Another benefit is that we will stop killing millions of animals each year. It is horrible to kill animals because they have feelings. Animals such as pigs and ducks can feel happiness, sadness, and pain. Other people argue that there are many great things about eating meat. People who eat meat can benefit from the nutrients and vitamins. Meat helps us to be stronger and fitter. Many vegetarians are skinny and weak. This is because it is difficult to get enough nutrients from their meatless diets. Another great thing about meat is that it tastes great. We need to eat, so we should consume foods that are delicious. A vegetarian diet is very bland. In other words, it does not taste good. We will get bored with this diet.
Supporting opinion. People should stop eating meat and become vegetarians. One reason is that a vegetarian diet is much safer. Meat eaters are more likely to get food poisoning because the meat is not fresh or not cooked correctly. Vegetarians don't have this problem because they can clean fruits and vegetables very easily. Another reason is that vegetarians can still get all the nutrients that their bodies need. As a result, these people are much healthier than meat eaters. They will have a better lifestyle.
Opposing opinion. People should continue to eat meat. To begin with, people are very busy these days. So they need to eat foods that give them energy. Rice and vegetables are great foods, but we need to eat them with meat. If we don't eat meat, we will be hungry very quickly and have no energy. In addition, people understand that animals have feelings. Therefore, there are laws to make sure that animals have a happy life before we eat them. In fact, many animals live very happy and natural lives before they die.
Unit 12. Leaving school at a younger age. South Korean students are required to attend school until they are 15. But most students continue studying for much longer. Many students don't benefit from going to high school and university. Leaving school and learning a trade may be much better. Some people argue that it will be helpful for students to finish school at 15. One reason is that many students find it difficult to study. Or they just dislike studying. It is very stressful for them to go to school. These children will be much happier if they are trained to do a job. Another reason is that classes will be better. Teenagers who don't like school usually misbehave or cause problems. When they leave school, the remaining students will behave sensibly. Other people argue that students should not leave school at 15. First, the students are too young to go to a company to work. They are just children. Learning to do a real job will be too tough, so the teenagers will probably quit. Second, students need to learn many skills so that they can be successful when they are older. The best way to learn new skills is to study at school. Students who leave at 15 will not know much.
Supporting opinion. It will be a great idea for many students who hate school to leave at 15. One reason is that the teenagers can get a job and a lot of training from a company. These young workers will learn good skills and will have a great job. Another reason is that teenagers will become adults much faster. Adults are responsible for their behavior. Teenagers working for a company will learn to behave responsibly. Students at school cannot learn to be responsible for their behavior.
Opposing opinion. It is a bad idea for any student to leave school at 15. To begin with, these children are too young to know what job they want to do when they are older. Most students change their minds many times before they decide on a job. Students who choose a job at 15 will soon be very unhappy. Another problem is that some students need more time to develop learning skills. If the teenagers continue studying at school, they will find learning much easier.
Unit 13. Banning child beauty contests. Children wear makeup, show their talents, and give speeches in child beauty contests. These days, some governments want to ban these contests for children under 16. What do you think? Some people argue that the government should ban child beauty contests. These contests teach children that their appearance is the most important thing. They will worry too much about how they look. However, a child's personality is much more important. In addition, children who take part in beauty contests don't have a happy childhood. They are too busy thinking about how they look and memorizing the things they will say to the audience. But children should only think about studying and playing. Other people argue that the government should not ban child beauty contests. Children can learn many important talents. They can learn how to speak to many people and how to dance. These are skills that can help the children become successful. In addition, children can have a lot of fun. It is great to wear nice clothes and to sing songs to an audience. Other children who do not take part in beauty contests will just sit at home and play computer games.
Supporting opinion. The government should ban child beauty contests immediately. The first reason is that parents force their children to take part in those contests. Many parents think that their daughters will be successful in the future if they win many contests. However, the children usually feel very sad and stressed. The second reason is that these contests are too expensive. Families need to pay for the entrance fees, clothes, lessons, and beauty treatments. Some families spend so much money on these contests that they don't save any cash for the future.
Opposing opinion. Beauty contests are not dangerous. In fact, they are enjoyable. One reason is that children can have a great time learning how to sing, dance, and model. Also, they get the chance to wear many beautiful clothes. These are the things that many young girls really like to do. Another reason is that entering a beauty contest is a great experience. It is fun to learn how to speak and perform in front of many people. In fact, these are skills that can help children to get good jobs when they are older.
Unit 14. Living in a rural or urban area. The number of people living in cities is growing all the time. Over 80% of South Koreans live in urban areas. However, some people are moving back to the countryside. Is it better to live in a rural or urban area? Some people argue that the countryside is a wonderful place to reside. The first reason is that there is so much space. Rural areas have many fields, mountains, lakes, and rivers. People who live here feel less anxious and much healthier. The second reason is that it is much less expensive to live in a rural area. Accommodations and foods are cheaper. For example, a large house with a garden is often cheaper than a small apartment in the city. Other people argue that city life is excellent. To begin with, urban areas are very exciting places to live. People who reside in cities can do something different every day. For instance, they can go to museums, movie theaters, and concerts. This is impossible for people who reside in rural areas. In addition, there are many jobs in the city. In fact, all the best jobs are in urban areas. As a result, people move there so that they can be successful.
Supporting opinion. It is much better to live in an urban area. The first reason is that it is so easy to travel. Residents can use buses, trains, subways, or taxis. Public transportation in cities is cheap and can be used day and night. However, the countryside has very bad public transportation, and everyone needs to use their cars to travel. The second reason is that people who live in cities can have more privacy. It is much better when people don't know everything about us. In rural areas, there are not many people, and everyone knows everything about each other.
Opposing opinion. It is much better to live in a rural area. The main reason is that the countryside is much cleaner than the city. There are fewer factories, cars, and people. As a result, there is very little pollution. This is much healthier than living in dirty cities. Another reason is that the countryside is more relaxing. It is much quieter and much darker at nighttime. People who live in the countryside can sleep really well and have much more energy. People who get enough rest are less likely to get sick too. It is much healthier for people to live in the countryside.
Unit 15. Korean celebrities and military service. South Korea has become one of the most developed countries in the world. However, because of North Korea, South Korea needs all young men to complete military service. Should Korean celebrities also be required to do so? Some people argue that celebrities should do military training because every Korean has a duty to help the country. In fact, there are people who are more important than celebrities, such as scientists and doctors. These people have to complete military service. In addition, famous people who become real soldiers or sailors will be very popular. Therefore, they can have very successful careers after they have finished their military service. Other people argue that Korean stars don't have to do military service. One reason is that celebrities' careers are very short. After spending 2 years doing military service, they may not be popular or get a bad injury. Another reason is that celebrities and sports stars give a lot of happiness to the Korean people. The celebrities should continue to entertain the country instead of doing military jobs that anybody can do.
Supporting opinion. Korean celebrities should do military service. The first reason is that celebrities are not more special than ordinary people. Every healthy man needs to complete military service, so famous people need to do their duty as Koreans too. The second reason is that Korean celebrities who complete real military training become more popular. This is because their fans and other citizens will respect them. As a result, these celebrities can be even more successful.
Opposing opinion. famous Koreans don't have to do military service. To begin with, these celebrities can benefit Korea more when they do their usual jobs. Famous Korean singers, actors, and sports players can help foreigners learn more about Korea. Fans from different countries may even visit Korea and spend money. In addition, celebrities' careers are usually very short. After they finish their military service, they may not be popular anymore and lose their jobs.
Unit 16. Renewable energy. The number of people in the world is growing very quickly. In 60 years, about 11 billion people will live on Earth. All these people will need energy. Fossil fuels have helped us to develop our world. But we may need to use more renewable energy. Some people argue that we should start using renewable energy. One reason is that fossil fuels have created a lot of pollution. This has caused our world to become hotter. A warmer world is a problem because many areas will be flooded. In other words, the areas will become covered with water. Another reason is that fossil fuels are running out. Someday, all the fossil fuels will be gone. This will be a serious problem if we do not have renewable energy. Other people argue that we should not start using renewable energy. They say that we should continue to use fossil fuels. Renewable energy cannot supply all the energy we need. If we stop using fossil fuels, we will not have enough power to use our cell phones, computers, or cars. Everyone will be very unhappy. Another problem is that renewable energy is very expensive. Many countries cannot afford to produce this type of energy. Fossil fuels are much cheaper.
Supporting opinion. We must use more renewable energy. One reason is that it will benefit South Korea. The country does not have any fossil fuels. As a result, Korea needs to buy fossil fuels from other countries. This is expensive and unreliable. Another reason is that the world is running out of fossil fuels. Sometimes scientists find some amounts of oil and gas, but these fossil fuels are very difficult to obtain. In addition, we may destroy the environment if we try to take the fuels out. Therefore, we should develop renewable energy.
Opposing opinion. We need to keep using fossil fuels to obtain enough energy. To begin with, renewable energy cannot produce enough power for everyone in the world. Scientists have been developing solar, wind, and water power for a long time. But these scientists have failed to help us have enough power. Second, fossil fuels are much cheaper. Renewable energy is too expensive. So, most people cannot afford to pay a lot of money for that type of energy. If we keep using fossil fuels and nuclear energy, citizens can save more money.
Like and subscribe to boost your English proficiency now. Thank you for listening.